Coming to you live from the Ursprung Gymnasium inside the Lou Higgins Center on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. It's time for Ohio Athletic Conference men's basketball action. This evening, the Baldwin Wallace University Yellow Jackets host the Ohio Northern University Polar Bears. Thanks for joining us this evening. I am Jeff Miller, and I'm joined by my partner, Cooper Moretz. We have a good broadcast on slate for you today, as we have a game that has OAC tournament ramifications. One game separates three teams for the fourth and final home spot in the OAC tournament that starts next week. Cooper, why don't you give us a quick look into the matchup?
Thanks, Jeff. This is the 97th meeting on the hard court between BW and Ohio Northern, with the Polar Bears leading the all-time series 61-36. BW won the first matchup of the season by a score of 80-77 in a game that came down to the final seconds in Ada on January 16th. First-year head coach Tom Heil leads the Yellow Jackets with a career record of 36-16 in 2 seasons, including a 14-9 mark in Bree after 1 year at Defiance College. Fourth-year head coach Kevin Byrne leads Ohio Northern with a career mark of 52-50. Jeff, give us a look into the Polar Bears.
Thanks, Cooper. Ohio Northern enters tonight's contest with an overall record of 11-12 and an OAC slate of 8-8. Polar Bears have won their last 2 games and have won 6 of their last 8 contests. Ohio Northern has 4 players scoring in double figures, led by the OAC Men's Basketball Player of the Week in junior center Aaron Tress with 17.5 points per game, and leads the team with 7.4 rebounds per contest. Tress ranks 4th in the OAC in scoring and 6th in rebounding. Junior guard Devin Allen is 2nd on the team with 11.6 points per contest. Junior forward Connor Baker is 3rd with 10.7, and freshman center Ryan Brown is 4th at 10.2 points per contest. Cooper, take a look at the Yellow Jackets.
Thanks, Jeff. BW comes into this evening's game with a record of 14-9 overall and a 9-7 mark in the OAC. The Yellow Jackets have won their last 4 games. BW has 2 players averaging in double figures, led by the OAC's second leading scorer, sophomore All-OAC guard Cam Kuhn with 21.4 points per game, and sophomore forward Jake Featheroff averaging 11.9 points per contest, and is the OAC leader in rebounding with 9.8 rebounds per game. Now back to Jeff, who has a look at the OAC standings.
Thank you, Cooper. The OAC is led by 4th-ranked Marietta College with records of 21-2 overall and a 15-1 mark in the OAC. Number 8, John Carroll University is 2nd after losing 2 games, including one to Baldwin Wallace for their first loss of the season last week, with records of 21-2 and 14-2 in the OAC. The University of Mount Union is 3rd with records of 15-8 and 11-5. BW, which we talked about, is 3rd at 14-9 and 9-7. Capital University and Ohio Northern are tied for 5th in the OAC with marks of 8 and 8. Capital is 12-11, and Ohio Northern, as we said, is 11-12. Heidelberg University is 7th with records of 12-11 and 7-9, and could play spoiler tonight by knocking off Capital, which would then give BW that 4th and final home spot that we talked about. Heidelberg has a record of 12-11 and 7-9. Muskingum University and Wilmington are tied for 8th with OAC marks of 3 and 13. Muskingum is 6 and 17 overall, and Wilmington is 4 and 17 overall. Otterbein University rounds out the standings in 10th with records of 4 and 19 and 2 and 14 overall. Big games tonight, Cooper. We got this game here with ramifications, and the game that's already underway down in Bexley, Capital and Heidelberg, before that 4th and final spot. So a win by the Yellow Jackets secures it. They lose, they need some help down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the game, the bigger game is the one at Capital tonight. If BW wins and Capital loses, which it looks like Capital is down 5 midway through the first half. So certainly if BW wins tonight and Capital loses, BW's into that 4 spot.
Which would put us at home on Tuesday night. Could be a doubleheader here in Ursprung. All depends on what happens in the women's side of the outcome. The women need some help here. They got to win one of the final 2, and they got the number 10 team in the country tonight in Ohio Northern. Then they go down to Capital on Saturday, where it's very tough to play every game. So stay tuned. You could have a doubleheader here on BWYellowJackets.com on Tuesday. You could have a game on Wednesday or a Monday night too. It all depends what the outcomes of this week. Tough. I always say the OAC is a tough brand of basketball, and we're getting a proof of it this year that the regular season is going to be determined for the tournament down the final stretch of the last two games of last two games of the regular season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you have your top two teams, the top 10 in the nation, and then really 5 or 6 pretty even-keeled teams after that, it seems like anyone can really beat anyone on any given night.
It's happened that way. You look at the number 3 team in the men's side. BW's knocked them, lost them twice. And yeah, one close game, but then everybody else is, mix and match. You never know. And here you got 3 teams fighting for that 4th spot. You got 2 teams fighting for that 8th and final spot. I don't think either one of them want it because they're going to go to Marietta or John Carroll. It all depends what happens the rest of the week out here. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have Cooper's keys to a BW victory. You're listening to BW Men's Basketball on BWYellowJackets.com. Welcome back to BW Men's Basketball on BWYellowJackets.com. I'm Jeff Miller, joined by my partner tonight, Cooper Mertz. Cooper, let's take a quick look at how the Jackets are going to pull off a victory and secure that 4th spot.
Well, I think kind of all year we've talked about BW shooting the 3 and BW rebounding, and when they do both well, they seem to win the games. Zach Warner and really all their guards have really kind of come along during that 4-game winning streak, especially against John Carroll last week. But it seems like that they rebounded against one of the better over in University Heights. So clearly they have the talent to beat those types of teams. It's kind of just putting it all together and making things happen that way. I will say though, I think Ohio Northern comes into the game out rebounding their opponents by 2 rebounds a game. So I think it'll be interesting to see how Jake Featheroff and that backcourt's rebound.
Center. They're both listed as centers, but we're going to have to call them forwards tonight because they're both one being the defending or the current OAC Player of the Week in Tress. So that's going to be the key for what I would see is keeping the Polar Bears off the offensive glass. And obviously they didn't have a letdown on Saturday, but they can't have a letdown this week after pulling off the big win last Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, especially coming off a week like that, and 2 big wins, and certainly a win tonight could clinch that 4 seed for them. So really a lot riding on this week as well, especially tonight.
Well, we're winding down with the pregame warm-up here. We're going to pause real quick for the national anthem, and when we come back, we're going to have the starting lineups and the tip. You're listening to BW Yellow Jacket Basketball on BWYellowJackets.com. Welcome back to BW Men's Basketball on BWYellowJackets.com. I'm Jeff Miller, joined by my partner tonight, Cooper Moretz. Let's take a quick look at the starting lineups before we get to the opening tip. First, for the visiting Polar Bears, at guard from Van Wert, Ohio, number 4, Joey Hurlis. At guard from Lima, Ohio, number 12, Devin Allen. At guard from Ada, Ohio, number 14, Connor Baker. At forward from Lancaster, Ohio, we've talked about him enough in the pregame, number 40, Aaron Tress. And at forward from Chickasaw, Ohio, number 54, Ryan Bruns. For your Yellow Jackets, a familiar starting five. I think it's been the starting five for probably the second half of the season for sure. At guard from Hudson, Ohio, and Hudson High School, number 1, Zach Brandy. At guard from Gahanna, Ohio, and Lincoln High School, number 2, Jay Battle. At guard from Vermillion, Ohio, and Vermillion High School, number 30, Cam Kuhn. At forward from Medina, Ohio, and Medina High School, number 14, Mike Kaminsky. And at forward from Norwalk, Ohio, and Norwalk High School, number 34, Jake Federoff. Today's officials are Scott Gordon, Michael Griffin, and Bryant Berry. We talked about it a little bit in that pregame, that it's a game of importance between this game and what's going on in the OAC, and Capital has taken a 32-27 lead. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one. A Capital win and a BW win. Going to make things interesting on Saturday for a senior game and final regular season game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if both teams win tonight, how both teams come out here Saturday. You'd think BW would have the advantage playing at home on senior night. You know, I'll definitely want to send our 3 seniors out with a victory. So a little more hype for that game, especially if you're going for a home court advantage too.
BW with a win tonight and a win Saturday would have a winning record at home. They're 4-5 going into this game, so protecting the house hasn't been something that's gone on too well this year, but they've been playing well at home down the stretch here. So that's exactly what they're going to have to do tonight and Saturday if they want that home spot for the first game of the tournament. We're going to have Featheroff and Bruns for the jump. And Featheroff wins it, kicks it to Kaminsky, who controls the tip. Battle's going to start the offense. He's picked up by Hurlis at the timeline. Gets a pick from Featheroff. Back to Kaminsky, who make the cut. Cam Kuhn fakes a 3, now dribbles around. He's guarded by Allen. Oh, that's Baker, excuse me. Kuhn gets a handoff from Kaminsky. He pops the 3 off the front iron. No good. Rebound goes to Tress. Quickly across the timeline, Hurlis brings it. Kicks it over to, and back to Hurlis. Now inside to Baker. Baker off the glass and in. Guarded nicely by Kuhn, but got the look. Battle brings it across the timeline. He's going quickly in. He fakes a pass, now gets it back out to Kaminsky, who gets it right back to Battle. Battle dribbling around the pick. Hurlis is on top of him. Kaminsky looking inside to Featheroff. Finds a cutting Brandy. Brandy's shot blocked by Bruns. Hurlis now bringing it across the timeline. Inbounds to Tress. Tress gets Featheroff with a move up and in. And 4-0 Polar Bears, 18:45 left to go in the first half. 2
quick baskets in the paint for Ohio Northern as Battle gets up a 3 there.
Rebound goes to Bruns. Hurlis across the timeline quickly. He finds Bruns. Now to Tress, who pops up a 18-foot jumper. No good. Rebound Kuhn. Kuhn's across the timeline with it. Picked up by Baker. Featheroff sets the pick for Kuhn, who takes this jumper. Front iron runs around. No good. Tress with the rebound. Hurlis quickly up to Bruns with the layup. Blocked off the glass by Featheroff and controlled by Kaminsky. Ending there. Featheroff for 3. No good. Baker with the rebound. Not what you need. First 4 shots by the Yellow Jackets, 3 of them have been 3s.
All 4 of them have been long jump shots too.
Yes. Hurlis now going to pop a three. He's no good. Rebound goes to Brandy. 4-0, 17:40 left to go in this first half. Brandy driving around. He's now going to take in Allen. He finds Featheroff streaking. Runner no good. Rebound goes to Bruns. Hurlis with the ball now.
The pace of this game so far has been unbelievable. I mean, both teams getting shots up with well within 10 or 15 seconds of the shot clock.
Hurlis tried to bounce one into Tress and went right by him. Not sure if that's the pace that the Yellow Jackets want to play on. Kuhn now dribbling running the offense quickly to Brandy. Brandy finds Featheroff. He thought about another there. Back up to the Kaminsky at the top of the arc for three, and he buries it. 4-3 Polar Bears. 17 minutes left to go in this first half. Hurlis brings it across the timeline. He finds Bruns inside to Baker. Baker with a left-hand hook, no good. Rebound was to Featheroff, and then Tress knocks it off Featheroff and out of bounds. Smart play there by Tress.
If you're Featheroff, you got to chin it. You got to be strong with the ball down low.
I don't think he thought Tress was behind him. Ohio Northern to inbounds. I think we have the officials wondering about the shot clock, because he's over at the scorer's table looking at the clock. Things are knotted up at 32 down in Bexley with 2 minutes left to go in the first half. All the other games in the OAC are underway now. Mount Union leads the number 8 team in the country after their 2 losses. John Carroll 8-6 with 3 minutes gone in that first half. Do we got an official's timeout here, or are they still trying to figure out the clock? Looks like, and you probably heard me yelling at the sports information director, that the officials are questioning the flash photography with the strobe lights in the Ursprung Gymnasium by our student photographers shooting tonight, which they are allowed. Now he's questioning where the cameras, the students can shoot from.
One of the more unusual stoppages in plays that we've seen.
I think we're finally going to get back to action here. Flash photography. It's not a flash mob. It's our strobe lights in the Ursprung Gymnasium that the Polar Bears mustn't like. I guess Bears don't like flashes.
I guess not.
Inbounds by Baker. Back to Hurlis. Hurlis finds a streaking Allen for 3, no good. Tress and Kaminsky battling for the rebound. Kaminsky knocks it off of Tress's face and out of bounds. Possession goes back to the Yellow Jackets.
I'd like to see the Yellow Jackets feed Featheroff on the inside. They already shot 4 threes within 3 minutes of play, so.
Definitely been playing around the arc, and there goes another 3 by Kaminsky, but he knocks it down. 6-4 Yellow Jackets, 16:30 left to go in this first half. You're talking about the arc, playing behind the arc, but Kaminsky has got 6. Nobody else has anything. Kaminsky 6, Polar Bears 4. Back into the offensive end. Bruns and Baker are playing a 2-man game, and they try to get it into Tress with a high pass, and he couldn't handle it. Turnover Polar Bears. Here comes the Yellow Jackets quickly. Brandy finds Kuhn. Kuhn's going to get a pick from Featheroff. Gets by, he's got two in the air, and then goes Featheroff with the finger rolling in. Thought he was going to hammer it down.
We've seen a couple big dunks from him this year.
8-4 Yellow Jackets, 15:50 left to go in this first half. Tress trying to get it into Bruns, well guarded by Kaminsky. Tress takes it all the way to the hole and off the glass and in. 8-6, 15:40 left to go in this one. Kaminsky with the hot hand, thought about another one, but Featheroff rolled into him with his defender. Battle gets the handoff from Featheroff. He's looking, he's got Hurlis. He got Bruns up in the air, and he should have been fouled, but it went in. 10-6 Yellow Jackets, 15:15 left to go in this one. Hurlis getting the pick from Bruns. Back to Tress, who just stepped inside the three-point arc. No good, rebound Battle. Not the shot I think you want from your big man. Featheroff gets the pass from Battle, and then he kicks it way back out to Kuhn, who's going to reset with 20 to shoot. Kuhn goes right around the opposite way of the pick of Featheroff. In and out, no good. Rebound Tress. Here comes Hurlis. He's quickly across timeline. He goes right by Battle, who blocks him out of bounds. 14-40, 10-6 BW. What a block by Battle.
Yeah, Ohio Northern's gotten in the paint pretty easy though tonight. I mean, we had a couple big blocks by Battle and Featheroff, but I think that's got to be a concern going forward, that they've gotten into the paint pretty fairly easy.
Jordan Richardson, Brandon Gleam, and Zach Warner check into the game for the Yellow Jackets. Inbounds back by the Polar Bears. Hurlis gives it up to Allen. Allen is back to Hurlis. Hands it off to Joey DeOrio. Tress with the reverse layup against Richardson, up and good. 10-8, 14-18 left to go in this first half. DeOrio and Jack Elberhorst checked in for the Polar Bears. Kuhn with a quick jumper, no good, up and around the rim a couple times. Rebound goes to Allen. Allen gives it to Hurlis, who quickly gets it in the side to Tress. Guarded by Richardson, up and no shot is no good. Then he gets his own offensive rebound, puts it back in, and fouled by Richardson. 10-10 now we go, 13:55. I don't know if Tress got fouled on the first one, but he definitely got it on the second one.
Yeah, foul was on Jordan Richardson, who's really come on the last, 6 or 7 games for the this is the 6th game playing all year, so the last 5 games previously, he's really come on as a legitimate rebounder and another low post scorer.
Tress knocks up the offering in. It's 11-10 Polar Bears with 13:45 left to go. And Richardson streaks with the pass right from Gleam and in. 12-11. Talk about his defense, and Ray comes back the other way and makes a great cut down the lane. Tress gets the jumper and good. Can't get him hot. That's going to be a concern for the Yellow Jackets. Gleam is going to bring it across the timeline, running the offense. He's going to be picked up by Hurlis. Gets a pick from Richardson, picked up by Tress. Tress left Richardson wide open, and he lays it in. 14-13, 13-15 left to go in this first half.
Tress has 11 of the 13 points for Ohio Northern so far.
There he goes again with another jumper and good. (15-14) here in Ursprung. 39-37 down in Bexley at the half. Gleam with a long three, but no good. Rebound goes to DeOrio. Hurlis bringing it across the timeline, running it back to DeOrio. He's going to pop a three. Off the rim and no good. Offensive rebound to Elberhurst, up and good. Richardson missed his block out there. 17-14, 12:25 left to go in this first half. Kuhn hands it off to Gleam. Gleam back to Peters, who just checked in. Warner, who had the hot hand last Wednesday, gives it off to Gleam. Finds a streaking Richardson and good. Richardson comes in and gets 6 quick points. 17-16 Polar Bears. Allen with a long three, and he knocked it down from Hurlis. 12 minutes left to go in this one. 20-16 Polar Bears. Timeout by Ohio Northern. Coach Burns going to take a 30-second timeout. I think that's more of to give his point guard Hurlis a breather because he hasn't sat down yet.
Yeah, him or number 40, Aaron Thress. I don't think they've had a break at all. Certainly, Thress has 13 of the 20 points for them. So already having a career night. I mean, picking up right where he left off from his OAC Player of the Week performance last week. So he's had the hot hand lately.
I think he averaged 26.5 points last week in the two games that their two OEC victories, and I think he averaged 11 rebounds a game. Northern shooting 50%, and the Yellow Jackets shooting 44. We're back into action here. Gleam slowly across the timeline, gonna be picked up by Hurlis. Ryan Walsh checked into the game now too. They're in like a 1-2-2 zone almost. They're trying to trap almost. Kuhn almost forced a pass in, saved by Walsh. He finds Gleam on the top of the arc for three, and he knocks it down. 20-19. 11:25 left to go in this first half. Hurlis quickly across the timeline. Inside to Tress. Tress picked up by Walsh. He kicks it back to Hurlis. Hurlis resets the offense. 15 to shoot in Elberhurst. Elberhurst finds Tress off the glass and in. Got the position on Walsh. 22-19, 11:03 left half. Kuhn gonna take it right off the glass, no good. Battle for the board between Tress and Walsh. Tress gets it as he's falling out of bounds, saves it into Elberhurst. Hurlis with the left hand, he's blocked by Peters. The two of them were fighting for it. And Hurlis last touch it, but he was standing on the out of bounds. Today's Yellow Jackets men's basketball game is being brought to you by Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Domino's Pizza in Berea. Call us at 440-891-0030 or go online at www.domino's.com. And the Ohio Education Credit Union, gain the advantage. Lee brings it across the timeline. Hands it off to Peters. Peters to Warner. Warner back to Gleam. Running it around the three-point arc. Now Peters drives. Kicks it back to Kuhn, who's going to launch a three. In and out. No good. Rebound quickly back to the Polar Bears. Nate Berger checked into the game. Hands it off to DeOria, who knocks down a three. Largest lead of the game for the Polar Bears at 25-19. Gleam quickly across. He's picked up by Berger. Gleam hands it off to Walsh, back to Gleam, back inside to Warner. Warner working against Tress. He kicks it back to Gleam with nobody home. Out of bounds. Featheroff and Brandy checking back in for Kuhn and Walsh. Kuhn, who is 0 for 6 on the game. He's had some rough starts in the first half, but don't count him out. I think the last men's game I called with you, Cooper, he ended up with 27 points all in the second half.
Yeah, he's pretty streaky throughout the season. If he's on, he's on, and if not, it could be a long game, but certainly he can fill it up.
Tress with his 17th point with a little baby hook against Featheroff. Featheroff had the position, but he gave a little baby hook and it went in. Gleam gonna get it out to Warner, who wants the three. He's gonna drive in, find Featheroff, back to Gleam. Gleam driving in now against Berger, stripped by Ryan Geis, who just checked in the game, and then Gleam thought he knocked it off Geis and out of bounds, but possession stays with the Polar Bears. 29-17, 9:20 left to go in this first half. Hurlis is on the bench. Tress still has not taken a breather. Berger handling the point. He's picked up by Brandy. Kicks it to Elberhurst, who's guarded quickly by Warner. Elberhurst finds Tress on the baseline. Muscles up against Featheroff and up and good. Featheroff just shook his hands like, what else do I have to do to make sure this doesn't go in? Had the position again and he threw it up and it went in.
Hey, sometimes good defense, you just have better offense. I mean, I think couple plays, Walsh and Richardson and Featheroff, BW is really throwing 3 different guys at him, and he's done what he's been doing the last week or so, and just playing really well, playing really efficient. And sometimes you just kind of have to tip your cap and say, and run back on defense. I don't know if there's really anything more that they can do as far as maybe. I think they're letting him get too deep in the paint, so maybe push him out from the paint and do the work early and get around and half front him there. But other than that, I don't know if there's really anything else he can do.
29-19, the largest lead for either team with the Polar Bears up. Battle working the offensive end. Got by his man, thought he saw Featheroff cutting, but bounced past it right off his ankles and out of bounds. 4th turnover of the game for the Yellow Jackets. Battle is back into the game with Warner, Brandy, and Featheroff. And Peters. Geis running the point. He's going to get by Brandy. Brandy quickly covers. Back to Tress for 2. Good. We're talking about him. There's nothing they can do. He's got 21 of their 31 points. Kid's got 21 points in the first half.
First 12 minutes of the first half.
He's having one of those special nights. Warner faked the 3. He was going alley-oop to Featheroff. Featheroff knocked it out. That might have been going in. Polar Bears quickly are back into their offensive end. Elberhurst kicks it in the corner to Berger. Berger's going to shoot a 3. No good. Rebound goes to Brandy. Brandy going to bring it across the timeline. He's going to be picked up by DeOrio. Brandy now with a 3. Off the front rim and no good. Elberhurst with the long rebound. Kicks it back to Berger. Berger's going to quickly come the other way. He hands it off to Geis. Geis back over to Elberhurst. Elberhurst was looking for Tress, and he just airmailed it to him. Out of bounds. Back into the game for the Yellow Jackets is Kaminsky, and now on the floor for the first time is Nito. Bruns checks in for Tress, who's going to sit down with 12 minutes played, over 12 minutes played in the first half.
A much-deserved break.
Let's see how quick Tress and Hurlis come back in. Battle dribble, he's going to pop a 3. No good. Rebound goes to DeOrio. He was losing it, but Elberhurst keeps control. Berger brings it across the timeline. He hands it off to Geis, back to Elberhurst. From DeOrio, gets a cutting Bruns, and he lays it up and in. 33-19 Polar Bears, 7 left to go. Kaminsky gets a shot at a 3, and he knocks it down. Cuts the lead down to 11, 33-22 with 7 left to go. Polar Bears are quickly back in the offensive end. Geis launches a 3. No good. DeOrio comes in. He knocks it out, and they say a last touch by the Yellow Jackets.
I'm not so sure about that one. It looked like 2 Ohio Northern players were there. And Featheroff.
Back into play. Berger directing traffic. He kicks it to Geis. Geis back to Berger. Inside to Elberhurst at the elbow. He finds Geis in the corner for 3, and he buries it. 36-22 with 6:35 left to go in the first half. Battle back across the timeline. He's driving right in. He was looking for Featheroff, but 2 Polar Bears were sitting right there, and they steal it there quickly on the fast break. Berger stops at the foul line, pops a jumper, no good. Rebound to Featheroff. Featheroff running until he finds Battle. Battle across the timeline. Brings it into the forecourt. Elberhorst picks him up. To Kaminsky. Finds Featheroff with a quick jumper over Elberhurst, and good. 36-24, 6 minutes left to go in this first half. I was wondering who's going to be the scorer with Tress on the bench, and these guys have stepped up right away. Berger gives it inside to Bruns. Bruns looking for somebody. He doesn't know what to do with it. He doesn't want it there. He gets it finally to Elberhurst, who's going to take Kaminsky right to the paint, and he's fouled on the ground. BW's second foul.
Only the second foul of the half.
Yeah, either team, yeah. His first, team second. Checking into the game for the Polar Bears is number 42, Aled Radkevich. There's a one for you, Radkevich. Back into play, here we go. DiOrio gets the ball. He finds Brunn, picked up by Featheroff. These two are battling underneath. Bruns kicks it back out. Off of Geis and out of bounds. He couldn't handle it. I think he was looking quickly inside before he caught it, just like you say to a receiver. Catch the ball before you make your move. Cam Kuhn now gonna run the point. He's dribbling on the top. Drives in, finds Battle outside for three. No good. Kaminsky's gonna get called for the offensive foul. He pushed him away to get the rebound.
Pretty easy call right in front of the ref. Pushed him and got a little leverage there.
Kaminsky quickly picks up his second, team's third. Richardson back into the game. We got 5:17 left in this first half. Ohio Northern's leading scorer, Tress, on the bench, getting a breather. Berger brings it across the timeline. He's picked up by Battle. Inside to Bruns, who gets a bump from Featheroff, and that helped it. Richardson with the rebound. Here they come quickly across the timeline. Brandy pushing it quickly. Dribbling between the legs. He's still dribbling. He's picked up by Geis. Geis got him bumped. Brandy resets with 17 to shoot. Gets the pick from Featheroff. Featheroff got a jumper at the arc. No good. Two Polar Bears go up for it. DiOrio brings it down. Berger across the timeline. Running the point. He finds DiOrio. Outside to Radkevich. Inside to Bruns. Bruns cross court to Geis. Finds Berger in the corner for three. 39-24, 4:20 left to go. BW's got to get some points here. Kuhn inside to Featheroff. Featheroff was bumped. No call. Rebound goes to Radkevich. Berger slowly across the timeline now. Picked up by Battle. Battles through the pick. Berger for three again. He knocks it down. 42-24. This one could get away quickly from the Yellow Jackets. Battle coming down the offensive end. Finds Richardson. Jumper no good. Rebound goes to Berger. Berger brings it across the timeline. He's hit the last two threes. Finds Geis. To Radkevich. Picked up by Richardson. Hands it off to DiOrio. Back to Berger. Resets the offense. 15 to shoot. Gets the pick from Bruns. Launches another three. 45-24. You got a 21-point advantage for the Polar Bears with 3:20 left to go in this first half. Coach Heil takes a timeout. It's a full one. We're going to take it with him. You're listening to BW Yellow Jackets basketball on BWYellowJackets.com. Welcome back to BW Basketball on BWYellowJackets.com. Today's Yellow Jackets men's basketball game is being brought to you by the Hoffman Group for all your insurance and risk management needs. By Medical Mutual of Ohio, the healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. And the Comfort Inn in Middleburg Heights, where comfort is just a part of the service we provide our guests.
The Oriole Cafe, a great for sports. The Cleveland Clinic Sports Health Division, the healthcare provider for BW Athletics. Parkway Auto Care in Berea, Strongsville Express Tire and Auto Service, and in Montville. American International. When you require a company with proven performance, rely on American International. The Courtside by Marriott and Town Place Suites in Middleburg Heights. Have you stayed at a Marriott today?
The Polar Bears on a 14-5 run have pushed their lead to 21 points, 45-24. Polar Bears with 3:15 left to go. Battle in the forecourt, trying to get by Berger, who's got the hot hand. Kuhn's got the ball now. He's picked up by D'Orio. He's going in the lane. He's forcing one up. Try to find Richardson. Turns it over. Richardson had it. Tried to save it back and threw it out of bounds.
Yeah, on the offensive end, BW's been sloppy. I mean, they've had a couple careless mistakes, as we just saw. And I think their shot selection hasn't been the best. Quick shots within the shot clock, and when you're not making them, you know, it makes it hard on that end.
Berger with a layup, 47. He's got their last 11 points. They just flashed it. He's got 11. He scored their last 11 points. It's the Berger show against the Yellow Jackets, and I totally agree with you, Cooper. The shot selection has not been there. Here goes Kuhn down the lane. He gets one high off the glass and in for his first points. Yeah, speaking of, before that basket, the Yellow Jackets were 10 of 27 from the field and 4 of 12 from three.
They're getting out rebounded 21-10 too, which we talked about before the game.
Bruns comes back the other way. He's fouled by Richardson, who picks up his second, team's fourth. We didn't have any fouls. We had one foul over the first 12 minutes, and now we've gotten 3 in the last 6.
No fouls for Ohio Northern either.
Bruns is going to the line for 2. The freshman center is a 75% free throw shooter. Sorry, I couldn't read the stats that were in front of me. He hits the first one, 48-26 with 2:09 left to go. And knocks down the second one. Cooper, what do you think the Yellow Jackets got to do here to, before they let this one get out of hand?
Well, I don't, as well as BW shoots it, I think they're always really going to be in it. I mean, we've seen streaks where they've made 4 or 5 threes on 4 or 5 straight possessions. So I wouldn't say they're out of it yet, but I think the shot selection is where they're going to have to get back into it.
Battle drives into lanes, finds Warner. Warner now looking to drive against Rekavich. He throws one up. It goes in. They do count it. So Warner takes one to the paint, gets fouled, throws up a prayer that was answered, and now he's going to look for the traditional three-point play. First foul of the game goes against Berger on the Polar Bears. Warner knocks down the offering, and good. 49-29. We're under 2 minutes left to play in this one in the first half. BW looks like they're going to go to a 2-3 zone now. Rekavich picked up by Warner. Now they're back into a man. Tress, who checked back into the game. Jumper no good. Rebound goes to D'Orio. Hands it off to Rekavich. Back to D'Orio. Berger was wide open in the corner. We got lucky there. He wanted it. He's now running the point. He gets a pick by Rekavich. Kuhn steps up on him. Then he walks away from him, shoots a 3, no good. Rebound goes to Featheroff. 1:15 left to go in this first half. Kuhn brings it across the timeline. Stolen by D'Orio. Berger quickly across the timeline. He throws up a semi-hook, no good. Airballed it to the Battle quickly across the timeline. He brings it all the way up and in, and 49-31, 50 seconds left to go in this one. Coach Byrne yelling out what he wants them to do. Berger going to bring it across the timeline. He's driving in. Got Battle up in the air, missed it off the glass. Featheroff with the rebound. BW gonna hold about an 8-second differential between the Battle's gonna shoot 3. No good, rebound goes to Tress. Now the Polar Bears can hold it for the last shot of the half. Not probably the jumper you were looking for.
Yeah, I think regardless, they were probably gonna get the last shot anyway, but still, you'd like to see them work down that shot clock a little bit more.
Berger inside to Tress with 6 to shoot. He's going to take Featheroff. This is the one-on-one matchup. 4 seconds left to go, and he buries it with it. There's the half. 51-31. Tress ends the half with a runner against Featheroff, and once again, he had the position, and he threw it up and in. We're both speechless here. We're going to take a quick timeout, and when we come back, there's a special halftime presentation that's going to go on. You know what? We're just going to stay here because they're already walking out. Two-time All-American wrestler Jesse Gunter is going to be presented tonight with his parents in attendance, the Hair Achievement Award, which goes to an individual athlete who possesses, the skills on the mat or on the court or wherever, as well as being a outstanding student outside. Jesse, for those of you that don't know, is legally blind in one eye, and he's about one of the best wrestlers I've ever seen at BW. I think he's won like 114 matches, and he's only lost like 12 times. So he finished third at the Nationals last year. So, like I said, he's out on the court right now getting the award from the Hair Achievement representative, H.H. Gregg. So inside is donated $2,000 to this fund, and donated by H.H. Gregg a 42-inch television, I believe it is, for whatever. I'm hoping it goes in the sports information office, but I don't. Quiet to himself, so when you do talk to him, he's, everything in his quote. You can go on bwyellowjackets.com under the wrestling section and see the news release about the award that the Hair Achievement did present.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the things that we talked about before the game was BW had to rebound well, and when they do rebound well, they tend to win games, and they're not doing that tonight. They're getting out rebound 23-13, and then 5-0 on the offensive glass. So Ohio Northern's big men has certainly give Walsh, Featheroff, and Richardson a run for their money tonight, as they've been all over the boards.
The funny thing is, their 5 offensive rebounds, 2 have gone out of bounds in favor for the Polar Bears. Their big men, Tress only has 1 of them. Their guards have the other 2. So that's not what you want to see, is long rebounds. And offensive rebounds for the Yellow Jackets, they're not there because they're popping threes left and right, and they're bound going long or wide or everything. So the big men, Featheroff, Walsh, everyone, Richardson aren't anywhere near them. So you can't say that they're 5-0, but they're 4 of 13 from 3. And we talked about it during the first half, the shot selection. They're 13 of 31 from the field in the first half, 41% and almost 42% in the first half. Polar Bears, I don't know if they'll shoot 54% for the game, but they shot 21 of 39 from the field, 6 of 12 from 3. They were perfect from the foul line. BW was perfect. They only won once, and that was Warner on that trip throw up that went right in, and good for him. I mean, he stuck with it, put it up. And, it's one of those horse games that you would just hope that I'm going to run through the paint, throw it up, and watch it go in. But he got fouled, and luckily it went in. Big factor, Aaron Tress, the OAC Men's Basketball Player of the Week. 23 of the Polar Bear 51 points in the first half. Berger with the other double-figure scorer with 11, and he scored 11 straight in that stretch there. Then he went ice, and then he went kind of cold. BW, nobody in double figures. Mike Kaminsky, the only one close at 9, and he hit 3 3-pointers. I thought the one in the far corner was a 2. My mistake, so he hit 3 threes in the first half. He's the only one hitting them. Brandon Gleam hit 1 2 of the 4, so lot to work on in the second half. Big one shutting down Tress. I don't know that you can fault Featheroff at all for it. He was in position, and a lot of them just Tress through shot flips and in.
Yeah, I think BW they might stick with that zone, but if they do, they have to rebound, and the zones have been notorious that it's a little harder to rebound out of that, and certainly they haven't really done a great job rebounding. So I think Coach Heil might be a little hesitant to go to that. But I think on the offensive end, I think that BW, I mean, I wouldn't say they're out of it because they can get hot, and we've seen them get hot many times throughout the year. But I think they just have to get better looks. I mean, a lot of dribble, and quick shots within the shot clock. Not necessarily good shots. I don't feel like they're really playing team basketball right now. They're not getting a lot of ball swings and ball movement, and really they're not really looking inside. That they've all been out on the perimeter. So certainly a lot has to go BW's way if they want to get back into this. But I definitely think they have the talent and skill to get back into it. It's just a matter of executing at this point.
Definitely right. If they have the talent, if they knocked off the number 3 team in the country last Wednesday, they can do it. It all depends what, or were they looking ahead to Saturday? Were they looking ahead to the Crusaders, who are down 2 to Heidelberg with 7:28? It all come down to that game on Saturday then for that fourth spot. BW will end up, if they think, well, right, just like that, Capital ties it. So we'll keep an eye on that one. It's all going to come down to that game. And it can all be an all-out mess if Ohio Northern decides to pull the Knights win and then to upset the number 4 team in the country on Saturday. They do that, BW loses both. They could go down to the 6th seed, which we hope isn't the case. We're talking maybe being the 5th seed and being on the road. We think they'd possibly be the 6th seed, but we're not worrying about that right now. We'll take another quick look around the OAC, what's going on too. At halftime, John talking about that in the pregame. Who's going to be the number 8 seed? I guess Muskegon's going to prove it right now. If they pull off the win, they'll have those in the driver's seat. And Marietta beating up on the team that's not going to make the OAC tournament and who's struggled the last couple of years, the Otterbein Cardinals, 41-28. We are at 51-31. We've got about a minute left in the halftime warm-up. Polar Bears are still shooting. The Yellow Jackets are in the huddle.
You know, you talk about maybe falling to that 6th seed, which, yeah, you'd have to play Mount Union first, who you haven't beat yet this year, but have played close twice. But I don't think really Mount Union has really played really up to their potential. I mean, when you compare it to Marietta and John Carroll, then if John Carroll will slide in that 2 spot, I mean, you've beaten them. I don't think if you're BW, you want to play Marietta at Marietta. I think if you had to pick, you'd probably want to play. Granted, I mean, obviously you have to beat Mount Union first, and that's always going to be a tough game. But as far as looking ahead, maybe we're looking too far ahead at this point. But certainly, if you had to take your pick, you'd want to maybe play John Carroll.
You definitely would rather go across town than go down to Marietta on a Thursday night in the semifinals. We're back into action. Tress bumping against Featheroff, and there's one that actually didn't fall for him. Featheroff with a rebound. We're just 15 seconds in. Battle working, finds Kaminsky looking for his 4th 3, and he knocks it down, and he's fouled by Tress. Gonna look for the 4-point play. Just a little recap if you missed it at halftime. 2-time All-American Jesse Hunter was given the Hare Achievement Award. We were talking about his record. He's 2nd all-time in wins at BW with 113 with only 13 losses. And Kaminsky completes the 4-point play. It's 51-35. Polar Bears 19:30 left to go in this one. Hurlis back onto the court. Inside to Tress against Featheroff. Featheroff took an elbow to his chin. And they're back to coming the other way, 53-35. Battle running the offense, guarded by Hurlis. Gives it up to the hot-handed Kaminsky. Hands off to Brandy. Brandy guarded by Allen. Back to Battle. Behind the back, drives down the lane. Blocked by Bruns. Out of bounds. Possession stays with the Yellow Jackets with 11 to shoot.
I mean, early on, if you look at Ohio Northern, they're going right to their star and Tress. You know, they got 2 early post touches, and 1 was real deep in the paint. So, not really. BW hasn't really done anything differently so far.
We're back in. Brandy dribbling around, gets a pass back to Featheroff with a jumper, and good. 53-37, 18:45. A lot of still standing around and wondering who's going to dribble and kick it back for the Yellow Jackets. Tress with a long 3, and he knocks it down. His 28th point of the game. He's got half their points. 56-37. Battle brings it in with a... Featheroff was going up, thought about a dunk. Bruns cut him off, then he would try to reverse, and he missed it. Coming the other way, Baker with the layup, no good. Here we come back the opposite way. Brandy quickly picked up by Hurlis. Gets it up, and I think it went in. I don't know.
I don't think it did.
All right, didn't go in. I was wondering because Featheroff was hanging on the rim. He was waiting for it to fall off and pound it down. Brandy gonna go to the line for 2. First offering, no good.
Go back to Thress's 3. That was his first 3-pointer he's shot all year. So 1 for 1. He really just hasn't been missing tonight, really.
Brandy missed them both. Something that Coach Heil's not going to be happy about. You want to get back into it. You got to take those free opportunities without the clock running. Hurlis bringing it across the timeline, gives it to Bruns. He's picked up by Kaminsky. Bruns then travels. Good defense there by Kaminsky, who's having a nice offensive game with his 13 points. 4 threes and 1 free throw on that 4-point play. Battle across the timeline. Finds a streaking Featheroff. Reverse layup. That was a pretty one. Otherwise, he was getting rejected by Bruns. felt them coming. 56-39, 17-35 left to go in this one. Hurlis hands it off to Allen. Allen dribbling around. Finds Thresh. Inside to Bruns. Bruns with the layup. Good. 58-39 is your score here. 17-15 left. Battle quickly across the other. Finds Kaminsky with the hot hand from three. No good. His first miss from beyond the arc. Hurlis with the rebound. Quickly across the timeline. Finds Tress. Tress reverse layup. He's blocked by Battle and tied up. Did they say that went off the backboard?
I think they forgot to switch the possession arrow at the beginning of the half. I think they called a jump ball.
And now they just switched it again. Yes, they did. Now it's possession arrow was in favor of the Yellow Jackets. Nice play by Battle. He brings it down, finds Featheroff, who streaks and goes in, lays it up and in. 58-41. That quickly, they're back in it. Featheroff with his 10th point of the game. Tress with the ball. He throws it away.
We're seeing a more post presence with BW this half early on. They're really going to looking for Featheroff, either if it's a pick and roll or down low underneath. And I think that's what they needed to kind of get some confidence back.
Battle brings it in again to Featheroff. He lays it up. What it is Battle's going in. They're all waiting for him to go up. He decides against it and finds finds Featheroff, who lays it off the glass and in. 58-38. 58-43, excuse me. 16-15 left to play. Runs to Tress. Tress inside to Baker, who's guarded by Kuhn. I think he got a piece of it. No good. Here they come the other way. Kuhn bringing it quickly. Finds Kaminsky for three. No good. Rebound goes to Tress. Hands it back to Hurlis, who's going to bring it across the timeline. Tress almost lost it. Hurlis almost lost it back to Tress. No good. Rebound battle between Kaminsky and Bruns. By Kaminsky. Battle slowly across the timeline. Pick coming for Kaminsky. Battle down the lane again. This time he lays it up. No good. Here comes the Polar Bears quickly across the timeline. Back to Allen. Allen with a deep three. No good. Two Yellow Jackets fighting for it, and they got lucky because it went right off of Tress and out of bounds. Back into the game for the Yellow Jackets is Gleam and Richardson. Coach Byrne going to take a 30-second timeout. Yellow Jackets have knocked it down to 20, or down to 15 at 58-43. 15-21 left to go in this second half. We'll stay right with you. We'll take a look and see what we got going on in Bexley. 2:50 left to go in regulation. The Crusaders are up by 3 at 69-66. Put them in a tie with the Yellow Jackets with a win. They hold the tiebreaker right now with the Yellow Jackets with a win, but they would have to win on Saturday if things stay put like they are right now. Capital win on Saturday gives them the 4 spot. A BW loss tonight, a BW loss on Saturday, and 2 Polar Bear wins gives them the 5th seed. Richardson blocked by a cut back Burns. Wow, that was a pretty one. Hurlis back across the timeline. He gets it over to Baker. They're trying to get it into Tress. Good defense by Kaminsky. Hurlis now with it. Tress comes out to the top of the arc. Hurlis takes it right to the lane. Nobody there. Battle fouls him on the way in. Basket good.
Yeah, it's tough when you have Tress with 28 points already and running the pick and roll, and you know, looked like Battle and Kaminsky kind of put all their focus on him and gave an easy road to the basket.
Hurlis not able to knock down the 3-point play. BW with possession. Cam Kuhn dribbling around. Bruns pops out. Richardson drives in. Went up and under around a streaking, or Tress came over to block him. He went up and picks up the quick foul, his third, I believe, or maybe it's just his second. They must have given one earlier in the first half to someone else because he had 2 in the first half according to our board. His second, team second. 60-43, 14:30 left to go. Tress guarded by Richardson. He takes him down the lane. Try to get it to Bruns. Gleam knocks it out of bounds. Michael Peters checking back in, and so will the senior Zach Warner for Battle and Kaminsky. Kaminsky gonna get a quick breather. Warner gonna have a tough assignment there with the big 6 Bruns. Hurlis into Tress for his second 3 of the season, and no good. Rebound Warner. Gleam across the timeline. He's picked up by Allen, the transfer from Findlay, Ohio. Gleam finds Richardson cutting, then he got cut off and tried to throw up a baby hook and threw it over the rim. Here come the Polar Bears the other way. Back to Bruns, outside to Allen. Allen inside to the OAC Player of the Week. Tress, good backside help by Warner, who knocked it away from. Here come the Yellow Jackets. Gleam with the ball, gets the pick from Richardson. He takes a jumper inside, just in front of the foul line and knocks it down. 60-45, 13:35 left to go in this one. Polar Bears walking across the timeline. Gets it inside to Bruns. Bruns is going to take it against Warner and throws it up and good. Just the size advantage there. Nothing Warner could do there. He just had the wingspan over the top of him. Back across the timeline, they're in. Here comes Peters. He's cut off by Allen and knocked away. Stolen. Here come the Polar Bears. Hurlis running the point. Thought about going in, but Peters cut him off. They reset the offense with 18 to shoot. I think the Polar Bears are going to change their offense and milk clock now. Back to Tress, who takes a long jumper in and out. No good. Rebound to Gleam. Gleam going to bring it across the timeline. He's picked up by Hurlis. He's going to get a pick by Bruns, who jumps out. Now Gleam going to shoot a 3. No good. Rebound offensive Richardson. He throws it up. No good. Rebound to Bruns. Then he picks up another loose ball foul. First offensive foul, and then he misses it, and then he picks up a cheap foul. Back into the game comes Brandy for Kuhn. Featheroff's probably coming to get Richardson, who picked up his team third. It's going back and forth down in Bexley in the Capitol Center. The Crusaders lead by 2 with 1:38 left to go in regulation. We're at 62-45 with 12.5 left to play. Ohio Northern with the ball. Foul away from the ball on Brandy against DeOrio, who checked back into the game with Elberhurst. Ball underneath, reset the shot clock. Hurlis tried to get it into DeOrio, and he wasn't expecting him. Gleam across it, brings it the other way. Runner no good. Late whistle by the referee, which should have been the call, and Gleam's going to go to the line for 2.
Pretty good push by Brandon there to get it out and go and get a nice little move to the basket. Get a foul call on him.
He saw that it was a one-on-one situation, and he took it. Gleam, an 81% free throw shooter on the season, knocks down the first offering. Just his 17th attempt of the year. Second one is up and good. He's now 15 of 18 on the season. Hurlis gonna walk it across the timeline. Now he's gonna be picked up by Peters. Warner directing the defense. The Polar Bears are gonna take their time, and here comes Bruns with a runner against Featheroff. Up and good. 64-47, 11:55 left to go. Gleam running the offense, finds Warner, back to Featheroff, back to Brandy. Now he finds Featheroff. Back to Peters, who's gonna launch a 3. Off the front iron and no good. Rebound goes to Hurlis. He quickly comes across timeline to Allen. Back to Hurlis. Inside to Alberhurst, who threw it inside to DeOrio. Knocked away by Gleam, but kept possession. Different pace of the game for the Polar Bears in the second half here. Hurlis back to Allen. 5 to shoot. Brandy's got him. Peters picks him up. Hurlis throws up a prayer, no good. BW might have gotten away with a couple fouls there, but that's okay. Checking back into the game for the Polar Bears are Berger and Bice. Let's see if Berger gets on a roll again with Tress on the bench, who didn't have a very, he only had, what, 5 points?
Yeah, to give him 28 on the night.
Yeah, you know, here comes Gleam. He's going in hard. Try to get it to Featheroff. Featheroff does get it. He finds Brandy. Brandy throws a runner up in the paint. Good. Just gets it by the long arms of Brunn.
I don't know how he found Brandy there. He wasn't even looking at him.
Here's the Polar Bears in the offense. Berger back to Geis, inside to DeOrio. Back out to Elberhurst. Elberhurst going to drive against Warner. Throws it up left-handed. No good. Rebound Featheroff. Let's see if the Yellow Jackets can make a little run here with the stars on the bench for the Polar Bears. Gleam running the offense. It's knocked away by Berger. Right to Brandy, though. Just as I said that, Tress is up and waiting to check in. Warner for 3. No good. Rebound goes to Brunt. Excuse me. Berger brings it across the timeline. Coach Byrne delivers, directing traffic. DeOrio now has it. He gets it back to Bruns, who goes in again. Blocked by Featheroff. Rebound goes to Peters. Peters trying to push it quick. He's picked up by Geis. Back to Featheroff, who's now driving. Back to Peters. Peters now going to drive against Geis. Out to Gleam for 3. He knocks it down. 52-64 Yellow Jackets. 9.5 left to play in this one.
They're chipping away.
Elberhurst inside layup from DeOrio. Things change quickly. It's 75-71 down in Bexley in favor of the Student Princes. So the Yellow Jackets still have a chance. Featheroff for 3, no good. Rebound goes to DeOrio. Here comes Berger. He's pushing the pace now. He's going coast to coast. Back to DeOrio for 3. He's no good. Rebound to Bruns, who knocked it out of bounds. Ball back to the Yellow Jackets. Tress is back into the game for the Polar Bears, along with Battle and Kuhn for the Yellow Jackets and Kaminsky. 19 seconds left in that game down in Bexley. Student Princes doing some favors for the Yellow Jackets. Battle down the lane. Throws up a crazy runner and rebound to DeOrio. Here come the Polar Bears quickly. Elberhurst across the timeline. He's picked up by Warner, who blocks it. Possession goes to DeOrio. He throws it up in the paint, off the glass, no good. Rebound to Kuhn. Kuhn gonna bring it up. He's gonna be chased by DeOrio. Kuhn blocked by DeOrio, but blocking foul goes against Elberhurst. Kuhn might have got lucky on that one.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that one. But Coach Heil likes to go a little smaller. 8:20 left here in the second half, especially with Thruss and Elhorst out there, or Facestunt out there. I mean, you move Kaminsky to the 5 and Warner to the 4, so it'll be interesting to see how those guys match up with them.
Kuhn knocks down the first one, 66-53. His second offering is good. 12-point advantage for the Polar Bears. Berger gonna walk it across the timeline. He gets the pick from Elberhurst, then he gets fouled by Warner. Ball on the ground. Warner's second, team fifth. Berger to inbounds from underneath. Thought about looking for Tress. Gets it into Elberhurst, picked up by Warner. Spin move by Elberhurst, cut off by Warner. Back to Tress, back into Elberhurst. Then he faced him, and then Warner picks up the foul. 66-54, ball's on the floor. That's 3 on Warner, 6 on the Yellow Jackets. Tress quickly inbounded from Berger. He's fouled by Kaminsky. His third, team 7. BW, or the Polar Bears in the bonus. Tress gonna go to the line 4-2. First one is up and good. Today's Yellow Jackets men's basketball game is being brought to you by Diane Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Domino's Pizza in Berea. Call us at 440-891-0030. Tress's second offering's no good. Rebound by Richardson, who just checked into the game. Kuhn brings it across the timeline. Picked up by Elberhurst. Now he's driving down the lane. He's tied up by Berger. Possession goes to the Polar Bears. 7:50 left, 67-54. Polar Bears. 75-73 with 1 second left to go down in Bexley. Not sure if someone's on the foul line or not, so we'll let you know when that's a final. Berger running the point, hands it off to Elberhurst. Nobody picked him up, and he went right down the lane, off the glass and in. 69-54, Polar Bears. 7:25 left to go. Elberhurst almost knocked it away from Battle. To Kaminsky, he thought about another 3. Back to Battle. Battle's gonna come down the lane now. It's stripped away by Geis, but Elberhurst couldn't handle it, threw it between his legs and out of bounds.
Battle's done a pretty good job tonight of getting into the paint and kind of creating for his teammates. I mean, there he got stripped, but previously he's done a pretty good job, especially with Featheroff.
Battle inbounds to Brandy. Brandy gonna drive in now with the left-hand runner. Good. 69-56. 7:05 left to go in this one. I'm gonna say it's a final down in Bexley because I'm looking at the play-by-play. Capital missed a 3-pointer with 3 seconds left to go. Nothing's updated, so I'm gonna say that's a final, but we'll wait and let you know for sure. Tress going against Richardson. Richardson picking up his 4th. 2-shot foul for Tress. Tress's first offering is up and good. 70-56 is your score. That is definitely a final at 75-73. Heidelberg pulling off a favor for the Yellow Jackets. 76-56 here. Polar Bears on top. Kaminsky 4-3 from Battle. Got it. 71-59 is your score. Polar Bears in the offensive end, inside to Tress, picked up by Richardson. Richardson's got to be careful. Tress stepped out of bounds.
Pretty good D by Richardson there by putting a foot on the inbounds line and making Tress go through him.
6:11 left to go. Battle gonna bring it across the timeline. Finds Kaminsky for another 3, but he's gonna get fouled again, and he's going to the line for 3. Kaminsky going to the line for 3. from his career high, which he did it on his former floor when he played for the Defiance College Yellow Jackets in the first round of the Defiance Purple and Gold tournament. First offering, no good. I pulled the broadcaster jinx.
You're the worst.
Kaminsky's got 2 more to get it, tie it, and set it. There it is. He knocks one down and ties his career high at 17. Looking for his career high at 18. John Carroll up 70-65 over the Purple Raiders. There it is. Congratulations to Mike Kaminsky with a career high 18 points. A lot of time left. 6 minutes left to go. 71-61. Polar Bears in the offensive end. Elberhurst hands it off to Allen. Back inside to Elberhurst. He's working against Kaminsky. He got by him off the paint and off the glass and in. Good D by Kaminsky, but he went up and under. Now Battle turns it over almost. Hurlis thought he knocked it out. I think he touched it at the last second. Battle got away with one there. He's looking like he hurt his finger maybe too. Today's Yellow Jackets men's basketball game is being brought to you by the Ohio Education Credit Union. Gain the advantage. Randy gets a nice behind the back dribble. He's trying to get into the lane. Gets by Elberhurst and up and in. Randy with 6 points, 73-63. BW's got to get some stops. They can't go basket for basket here the rest of the way. Hurlis picks up his dribble, gets it to Elberhurst. Back to Hurlis. Now to Allen. Allen, they're looking to try and get it in the Tress. They threw it away. He wants it down. He's screaming at Elberhurst. Featheroff knocked it out of bounds. 4:58 left to go. 10 to shoot. Baker going to inbounds from underneath. Into Tress. Back to Hurlis. 8 to shoot. Try to get it inside to Tress. Knocked away by Featheroff. They come fast break by the Yellow Jackets. Battle's fouled by Hurlis. 73-63. Battle going to the line. Battle a 63.8 free throw shooter on the season. Needs to knock both of these down. First offering is up and front rim. Those are the killers. He knows it. He slapped Kaminsky's hand. He might be hurting there with that, how hard he hit him. Second offering up and no good. Said they got to get a stop. They got it, and then they get the charity stripe and miss both. 73-63, 4:40 left to go in this one. Hurlis guarded by Battle. He's going to run clock. You figured that was going to happen by the Polar Bears. Tress going to set the pick. Hurlis still dribbling, gets it back to Tress. Tress working against Featheroff. Featheroff bumped him. He's going to go to the line for a 1-and-1. That's Featheroff's first only. Team's 9th.
I think offensively BW's played, I mean, they've obviously played better, but, you know, Ohio Northern really hasn't played with the same sense of urgency they played with at the end of the half, where they really stretched the lead out. But, I mean, obviously BW's cut their halftime lead in half, but I don't know if it's going to be enough here with 4:25 left.
Tress's second offering is up and no good. He missed both. So the last 2 possessions, both teams have missed 2 free throws. Battle across the timeline. Picked up by Hurlis. Here comes the pick from Featheroff. Finds Kaminsky, who's going to launch another 3. Tress got in his way, and he missed it. Here come the Polar Bears. Hurlis with a careless pass. Kuhn takes a steal, lays it up and in. 73-65. Closest the Yellow Jackets have been in a long time. You're right, the Polar Bears have not played with that tenacity they did in the first half. Tress back to Elberhurst. Elberhurst to Hurlis, inside to Baker, who jumps over Kuhn and up and good. You would have to think in the next couple of minutes here, or next minute, you're going to see Bruns the rest of the way too. Bring the big men in. Battle running, step back, here he comes now. Stops at the foul line, back to Kaminsky, trying to get it inside to Featheroff, and Elberhurst with a nice defensive play coming over the top and making the steal. Here comes the Polar Bears, they're going to run it slowly. Battle got Hurlis. Gets the pick, he fights right through Trest. Hurlis picks up his dribble, back to Baker, who's now going to go down the lane. He's cut off by Kaminsky. Back to Hurlis, 8 to shoot. Inside to Trest, off the glass, no good. He thought he was bumped by Featheroff, good D. Here comes Brandy quickly. BW's got to play with some urgency here. Brandy now going to launch a 3. He's got it. 75-68. 7-point advantage for the Polar Bears. What a change, what a quick change that was. Thought there was a foul at the opposite end. Come back with a 3. Elberhurst now has the ball. He gets it to Tress, who takes the long jumper, and good. Tress with his 33rd point. Here comes Brandy. Brandy dribbling around, hands it off to Battle. He's gonna go down the lane. He's up in the air, luckily gets it to Featheroff. Battle for 3, no good. Rebound, Elberhurst. We got 2 minutes left to go in this one. 9-point advantage for the Polar Bears. They're gonna walk it across the timeline. Brandy picking up Allen. Allen, the junior transfer out of the University of Findlay. They're gonna milk as much clock here as possible, Cooper. Allen back to Elberhurst with 7 to shoot. He takes it down the lane, right over Kaminsky, no good. Rebound Featheroff. Here comes Brandy. Brandy is pushing the issue. Goes up, blocked by Hurlis, out of bounds. Possession stays with the Yellow Jackets. Timeout, BW, 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. Today's Yellow Jacket men's basketball game is being brought to you by the Hoffman Group for all of your insurance and risk management needs. By Medical Mutual of Ohio, the healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. And the Comfort Inn in Middleburg Heights, where comfort is just a part of the service we provide our guests.
The Oriole Cafe, a great place for sports. The Cleveland Clinic Sports Health Division, the healthcare provider for BW Athletics. Parkway Auto Care in Berea, Strongsville Express Tire and Auto Service, and in Montville. American International, when you require a company with proven performance, rely on American International. The Courtyard by Marriott and Town Place Suites in Middleburg Heights. Have you stayed at a Marriott today?
We'd like to thank our sponsors for letting us be on the air tonight. BW with 1.5 left to go in this one. Got possession underneath. Battle looking. He's still looking. We got a foul away from the ball. It's going against Tress, I believe. Yep. His second, team 7th. BW shooting the 1-and-1. Featheroff going to the line. Looking for his first free throw attempt of the game. Knocks it down and good for his 13th point. He's got another double-double. That's his 11th career double-double, and I think it's his 10th of the year. Second one is good. Geis checks in for the Polar Bears. Timeout by Ohio Northern. Are they not sure if it's a full timeout? We'll take one with them. You're listening to BW Men's Basketball on BWYellowJackets.com. We'll be right back. back to Ursprung Gymnasium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. You got a tight one here in Ohio Athletic Conference men's basketball action. BW overcoming a 21-point halftime deficit. They trail by 7 with 1:27 left to go. Possession is with the Polar Bears. Possession arrow in favor of the Yellow Jackets. Polar Bears will be in a double bonus. The Yellow Jackets are in the 1-1 right now. Full court pressure by Coach Heil and the Yellow Jackets. Baker gets it into Allen. Allen picked up by Brandy, and now they pull off. Hurlitz, their point guard, is on the bench. Allen dribbling. He's got 13 to shoot. He finds Tress, picked up by Featheroff. Good defense, but off the glass and in. 79-70 with a minute left to go. Here come the Yellow Jackets. Kuhn with a quick three, and he airballed it, no good. Rebound goes to Allen. Here they come with they're trying to trap. Gleam, BW went short.
It's like a timeout by Ohio Northern.
Yeah, I think Coach Byrne called a timeout. It was crazy action right there. It was either going to be a foul or a turnover, but Coach Byrne made the timeout first. 42.8 left to go. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll stay right here. Ohio Northern put up 51 points in the first half. Just 28. BW put 31 up. They've put up 39 in the second half. Tale of two halves, but hopefully the Yellow Jackets within the last 40 seconds can pull off a miracle, but that 21-point deficit or 20-point halftime deficit is something to overcome.
Yeah, I mean, they dug themselves in a really big hole. I mean, the last 4 or 5 minutes of the first half, that, I mean, Ohio Northern went on a pretty big run, and especially when your best player, Thress, has 23 points in the first half and 35 points for the game. So, I mean, they've done a better job on him. They made it a little harder on him in the second half, but like I said, the hole was too deep to dig out of after that first half performance.
Heidelberg did what they needed to for the Yellow Jackets. We talked about in the pregame about the 3 teams fighting for the final 4th and home spot in the OAC tournament. We're back into action here. Polar Bears get it inbound, and Allen is trapped by Kuhn and Brandy. Quick timeout by the Polar Bears. 38.8 left to go. We were saying it's a 3-way race for that 4th and final spot. You're looking at it right now. Capital is on the outside looking in at 8-9. BW will go to 9-8. And Ohio Northern will go to 9-8 if it stays put. You got to figure the Polar Bears are going to suffer a loss on Saturday, but you never know. Things are crazy here in the OAC. Polar Bears play number 4 team in the country and OAC leader Marietta. I believe the game is in Ada, so that's in the favor of the Polar Bears. Capital wins against, it's going to be craziness here on Saturday. Ohio Northern's in the driver's seat right now if they pull off the win, because all they got to do is pick up a win, and they're got the 10 wins, because they're going to knock off the number 1 team in the league. But then it's going to be a coin toss, and everything will be all crazy. They're going to have 2 teams at 16-2, and
yeah, I mean, with the way Thress has been playing though the last week and a half, I mean, you include tonight, I mean, you know, anything is really possible with you know, your best player throwing up 35 tonight, and like you said, he averaged 26 or so last week. So, I mean, he could certainly keep you in the game.
Definitely. The inbounds and Tress, is fouled by, I believe, Featheroff. off his second, team's 10. We'll talk a little bit more about the scenarios in the post game too. Tress off first free throw is good, no good. He's missed his last 3. Stellar performance by the All OAC or the OAC Player of the Week, but with 35 points. But his last 3 free throws are no good. Let's see if he hits this one. Dribbles and offering is up, and he knocks it down. 10-point lead with 37.5 left to go. Battle quickly across the timeline. Gets the pick back from Kaminsky. Back to Gleam. Gleam's going to fire a 3, and he knocks it down. He held it. He knew that one was good. 80-73, 28 points, 28 seconds left to go. Shot clock's off. 30-second timeout it's going to be a full timeout. We'll just stay here. Give another shout out to a couple of our sponsors. Today's Yellow Jackets men's basketball game is being brought to you by Domino's Pizza in Berea. Call us at 440-891-0030 or go online at www.domino's.com. The Ohio Education Credit Union. Gain the advantage by the Comfort Inn in Mitterberg Heights, where comfort is just a part of the service we provide our guests. And by Medical Mutual of Ohio, the healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Games are always tight in the OAC. You just can say how tight the games are when you come down to the final week of the regular season to determine the OAC tournament placings.
I think a big story tonight has got to be Cam Kuhn. You know, I think he's 2 of 8 from the floor for 6 points. Ohio Northern has done a pretty good job of containing him and not allowing him to really get in a rhythm and really to do what he's capable of.
He definitely has been silenced most of the year since his 51 school record outburst against Mount Union in that first meeting in December. Don't get me wrong, he's had his 20-point games and his double-figure point games, but they've been far in between that. You don't know where he's coming from. When he scores 27 points, they come out of nowhere, but Battle knocks it out of bounds. Possession, 1.2 came off that clock. Polar Bears is back inbounding. Inbound goes to Allen. He's going to be fouled quickly by Battle. Allen going to shoot 2. Allen is a 91% free throw shooter on the year. Now I know why Hurlis is on the bench. He knocks down the first one.
Yeah, I think Hurlis is only 50% free throw shooter on the year, so like you said, makes sense why it was on the bench.
Hurlis is back in the game with Radkovic. And Allen knocks them both down, 82-73. Here come the Yellow Jackets. Kuhn's dribbling, needs to get rid of it, find somebody or shoot. He tries to force one down the lane, and Baker knocks it off out of bounds. 16 left to go in this one, 82-73. Battle looking for somebody. He finds Kuhn. He's got Baker in the air. He's going to go to the line for 2. This one's pretty much in the books. In in Alliance, John Carroll is knotted up with Mount Union at 93-93 with 2:14 left to go. The Blue Streaks are struggling down the stretch. Muskingum is up 78-69 over Wilmington with a minute and a half left. Kuhn knocks both of them down, right? 82-75, timeout there. And Marietta blew out Otterbein 80-56. So Otterbein, Marietta, what we were talking about a little bit ago, if Carroll ends up losing, Marietta could rest their players. We could talk about the NFL here, resting your guys, because you have a 2-game lead going into the final game of the regular season. I don't think they'll do that, but it's Division III basketball, so I don't think they would do that, but they do have that luxury if Carroll would fall to Mount Union tonight.
Yeah, well, I mean, the way they're doing the OAC tournament now, I mean, I believe they input it last year where the top 2 teams don't get buys anymore, the top 4 teams don't get buys anymore, so everyone's playing on Tuesday, correct? So really, I mean, they're not really getting any extra rest, so maybe you rest them, but I doubt they will.
Yeah, the men's coaches voted back in last year to go to a 1 through 8 format, so they play Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday next week. On the women's side, the top 2 teams, which are Ohio Northern and Capital, would get buys all the way to semifinals. And then 5 play 8, 6, and 7 play on the first game. Ohio Northern trying to get the ball in, and they do. Berger's going to be fouled by Featheroff. And an update from Ada, the number 10 team in the country. The Ohio Northern University Polar Bears are up 57-36 on your BW women's basketball team with just about 2.5 left to go. BW is going to need to win on Saturday in Bexley now to maintain the 4th spot. Berger knocks down that first basket, 83-75. So both BW men's and women's teams are going to be playing for their home spot in the OAC tournament this Saturday against the Capital Crusaders. Both baskets are good by Berger. 9-point lead, 84-75 with 13 left to go. Here comes Kuhn. He's going to launch a 3. No good. That's going to do it, folks. Tress with the rebound. Ohio Northern's going to run out the clock and get the season series split with the Yellow Jackets. 84-75 is your final. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap it up with final stats, take a look at Saturday's game, the OAC tournament, and we'll be right back. Well, welcome back to BW Men's Basketball on BWYellowJackets.com. I'm Jeff Miller, joined by my partner tonight, Cooper Moretz. BW falls in a tough one to the Ohio Northern Polar Bears, 84-75. We're going to take a quick look at the stats. Cooper, what's the glaring factor you see? We talked about a lot of things at halftime, and some things didn't change.
Well, I mean, we talked about it at halftime, and the rebounding, I think they out-rebounded them by 8 in the first half, and they actually BW out-rebounded Ohio Northern in the second half, so that was better to see. But I think the biggest stat to me is Cam Kuhn going 2 for 10 for 8 total points. Really never he struggled early on in the first half, and he really never got anything going. I mean, even if he does half his average, you know, we might have a Baldwin Wallace victory. But certainly we've kind of gone how he goes this season. When he doesn't perform what he's capable of doing, BW tends to struggle and to find themselves in some tight games.
Definitely. The big one was the OAC Men's Basketball Player of the Week. Aaron Tress goes for 36 points and 11 rebounds. 1 assist, 1 block, 1 steal. Ryan Bruns, 10 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Nate Berger had that 11-point stretch and only ended up with 2 more for 13. BW was led by Mike Kaminsky with a career-high 18. Jake Felleroff had another double-double with 14 points and 12 rebounds. And Brandon Gleam off the bench with 13. Quiet 13. I didn't realize he had 13. That big 3 down late in the stretch there. So BW falls in this one 84-75. We're going to quick talk before we go off the air here. I'm kind of trying to delay this too because of what's going on in Alliance. BW now needs a victory on Saturday with Capital and a Ohio Northern loss to Marietta for us to be the 4th seed, because we would be at we'd be 9. Yeah, we'd be 10-8. They would be 9-9. Capital beats us. And Marietta beats Ohio Northern. There's a 3-way tie, and I believe it goes to a 3-way head-to-head series, because I got this wrong a few years ago because I thought we were actually going to be on the road. And Coach Sheldon, who is now at Dublin Kaufman High School as the athletic director, told us, no, you guys are wrong, which is fine. I didn't know this. So it's a 3-way head-to-head. So I think I figured this out already, and Capital would take the 4th seed. Then I think it would go down to a tie. I think BW would be the 5th seed just because of the head-to-head, then would go to the team that they beat the highest, and that would be John Carroll. So it all depends. We got a lot of things going on, but it looks like right now Mount Union is going to hand John Carroll their 3rd straight loss. They're up 97-93 with 14 seconds left to go. This one's pretty much over there. So once again, your final here tonight was Ohio Northern 84, BW 75. A quick reminder, our final regular season men's basketball broadcast is this Saturday, February 20th, when the Yellow Jackets host Capital University on Seniors and Parents Day in a must-win game to host a first-round game at home here in Ursprung in the OAC tournament at 3 o'clock. The pregame show will begin at 2:50. For my partner, Cooper Moretz, I'm Jeff Miller. Thanks for joining us tonight. Our final again, Ohio Northern 84, Baldwin Wallace 75. Have a good night.